going to do some exercises from Spark Book 2. It is of the second year students. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you an expression and we are going to talk about how can we use this expression, in which situation can we use it and where. Okay, so I wish you follow with me until the end of the video. Enjoy. So let's get started. The first exercise is exercise 2 on page 24. The question is, write the past simple of the verbs below. Listen and check which forms are irregular. So to do so, we are going to draw a table and write the infinitive of the verbs, and we are going to find the past form of each verb. And we say if the verb is regular or irregular. And of course, before you get the answers from the video, you can pause the video at any exercise and you answer yourself, and then you can check if your answers are right or wrong. So let's start. So in this table here, I've got the base form of the verb or the infinitive and the past form. And as you can see here, I write the verbs with two different colors in order to make the difference between regular and irregular verbs. I write irregular verbs with black color and regular verbs or verbs that take ed with green color. So let's start here. We have the first verb, come, becomes came with a. It is an irregular verb. Find, found, an irregular verb. Change, it takes ed in past, so it is a regular verb. See, saw, it is another irregular verb. Eat becomes ate, another irregular verb. Try, because it takes ed in past, so it is a regular verb. Have, had. Buy, bought. Look, looked, another regular verb because it takes ed. Go becomes went in past, so it is an irregular verb. Take becomes took with double O. It is another irregular verb. Give becomes gave. Listen, listened. So it takes ed, so it is a regular verb. Want, wanted. Make, made. So all the verbs that are written with black color are irregular verbs. Such a way I finish the first exercise with you. Now let's move on to another exercise. Now another exercise. Put the verbs in brackets in the past simple, which are regular, which are irregular. So it's a form of a letter. So I read it without answering. So you pause the video, as I told you before, you get the answers, okay, and then you check if they are right or wrong. Hi Matt, how are you? Guess what? My parents take me on a trip to London last weekend. It, the verb to be great. We visit the Victoria and Albert Museum, and then we go shopping in Oxford Street. In the evening, we eat at an Italian restaurant. The next day, we see amazing wax models of famous people at Madame Tussauds. And then we walk to Buckingham Palace. I have an amazing time. Write back soon, Alex. Now another reading of the same letter, but this time with the answers. Hi Matt, how are you? Guess what? My parents took me on a trip to London last weekend. So if the verb took is an irregular verb because it doesn't take ed at the end, as you can notice here. It was great. The verb to be is another irregular verb. So I stop here to show you how can we conjugate the verb to be. We can say as an example, I was at home, you were at home, he, she or it was at home, we were at home, you were at home, they were at home. Okay, so this is just between parentheses. I continue. Number 3. We visited the Victoria and Albert Museum, and then we went shopping in Oxford Street. In the evening, we ate at an Italian restaurant. So ate is another irregular verb because it doesn't take ed. The next day, number 6, we saw an amazing wax models of famous people at Madame Tussauds. And then we walked. Walked is a regular verb because it takes ed. So then we walked to Buckingham Palace. I had an amazing time. Had is an irregular verb. Write back soon, Alex. So we finished the exercise. So another exercise. Look at the picture and correct the sentences. So here they give you an example to be followed. Let's read it together. Number 1, they went to a theme park, between parentheses, museum. So look at the answer here. We are going to practice both negative form and affirmative form of past simple. They didn't go to a theme park. Why? Because they went to a museum instead. Okay? So here we are going to do the same, answering all the sentences below. So take your time, answer using a paper or a copybook, and then we are going to meet to give the answers together. I'm sure that you do the exercise. Now let's correct. They didn't go with their parents, they went with their grandparents as number 2. So here, as you can notice, we have both forms, the negative and the affirmative form. So just to remind you, the structure of the negative form is as the following. Subject, which is they here, plus did, the auxiliary did, plus not, plus the base form of the verb. They didn't go. Didn't is the contracted form. We can write didn't like this, or did not, okay? So they didn't go with their parents. They went. Went is the past form of the verb go, and it is an irregular verb. Number 3, they didn't wear their school uniform. They wore their jeans. The same thing here. We begin with the negative. They plus didn't plus the verb wear. They didn't wear, and in the affirmative form, wore. They wore their jeans. Number 4, they didn't see an exhibition about the ancient Greeks. They saw an exhibition about the ancient Egyptians. So saw is the past form of see. 5, Tom didn't take his MP3 player. He took his digital camera. Took is the past form of take. Okay, so as you can see here, that in the negative we keep the infinitive of the verb. Do not conjugate the verb while giving the negative form, okay? Number 6, Lucy didn't buy a book from the gift shop. She bought some pencils from the gift shop. So bought is the past form of buy. 7, they didn't feel bored. They felt happy. So felt is the past form of the verb feel, above, okay? So I stop here. I wish you do understand every detail in that video. Goodbye. See you soon in another video. The expression of today is there you go. It means great job. For example, if the teacher wants to compliment on a student by saying great job, the teacher can also say there you go.